Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And today I'm going to do another video per request because I get people that ask me this question a lot, whether it's on the YouTube or actually out when I'm performing. And they ask me to speak on it, so I'm going to do that. And I guess it can be entitled Past Technology and Present. And everybody raves about the new technology when it comes to recording like Pro Tools. And don't get me wrong, Pro Tools is a great tool. And that's the key word, it's tool. And use it that way because this is how I look at it. For me as a musician, professional musician, it can help me expedite my projects. And that's wonderful. But the old school way of recording, it makes you a better musician. If you mess up, you start over. You start all the way over. You don't just go in and say, snip that little part where I hit a wrong note and cut it out and move the sax solo into the beginning of the song when it was done at the end of the song. There's pluses and minuses, when it comes to that technology, because I look at it this way, and I don't think nobody can dispute me as far as this statement. The musicians of the 60s versus the musicians of now. Which one's better? And these guys in the 60s didn't have Pro Tools. They didn't have a technology where if they mess up, they only have to do a part of the song over. A lot of times back in the recordings of the Motown era, it was done live with a couple of mics, and if one person messed up, they had to start over all the way, everybody. So it's a plus when it comes to expediting your projects. You can get it done within maybe 2 days versus a week. And that's wonderful. But unfortunately, a lot of people or musicians are using this as a crutch, and it's not making them, forcing them to become a better musician. As far as, again, if I mess up, I got to start all the way over. I don't want cutting, patching in and out, because you can do it successfully. But, a lot of times you can kind of hear the difference, because I learned that mistake a long time ago when I first started doing engineering production. It was one particular song that me and this guy was working on. It was a gospel song, which is kind of out of my realm, but I decided to, do it anyway because they kept asking me to produce it. So I did it. And he came and he did, because there were 3 verses and 2 choruses in the song. That's usually kind of the format. So the first day he came, he did the first verse and the first chorus. And we didn't have enough time to really finish it because he kept making mistakes. We kept having to do it over. So the next day he came back to lay, verses 2 and the rest of the song. And what I noticed then, and at that point I never made this mistake again, was each day you sound different. Each day you feel different emotionally. Because one day you might be in this really specific mode and you take the song there. The next day you're not really feeling it like you felt the day before. And we can hear the difference in not only the audible, meaning, the first one was a little strong and powerful and the second was not. And the mics didn't sound like the mic that it was the same mic, but when we did it Monday, it didn't sound like it did when it did it Tuesday. And so we noticed that not only the audible changes and it's a significant difference, also the emotional and the spirit. So from that point on, I'm like, we doing this whole vocal thing today. We're not doing pieces of it today and then another piece tomorrow. So things like that makes you become a better musician because you keep doing it. Because repetition is good when it comes to music. The more you do it, the better you get. Because my biggest issue when I was growing up playing, being a musician, was I have a hard time. I was having a hard time getting through one song without messing up. And now I look back and I'm like, I don't even think like that no more because I can play the entire piece without messing up. So sometimes doing it, a kind of a manual sense will kind of make you a better musician as opposed to, again, just play one phrase of this guitar. We put it into the computer, the Pro Tools, and then we just, put it sparingly throughout the whole track instead of having me play through the whole track. Because when you play for, the extended time, you start to add little nuances, throughout the song, as opposed to just this one phrase looping itself through the whole 5 minutes. It gets boring, and it sounds stale, So I am not by no means knocking Pro Tools. Pro Tools has its place. It has its place once you become a good musician. That's when it's beneficial to you, as opposed to I can barely play my guitar and it's gonna get through one phrasing of it, and that's good enough because now I'm just gonna take this one phrase sample and then spread it through the whole song. So that's my take on it, and that's how I look at this new technology. It's wonderful, but learn how to play first. Until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.